Hello everyone, yet again another day, 30th of December today, currently 9:14 p.m. Hoping everyone's having a lovely day pre-New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve's Eve. So yeah, I guess it's getting to that point now where people are probably deciding what it is they want to do in the future for this next year, 2026. I believe it will be a good year. Obviously that's just going to help it be a good year for me because I believe that it'll be a good year. I recommend everyone to do so. Now, the topic of today's discussion, a very simple quote, very to the point this one. And it is, both faith and fear demand you believe in something that you cannot see. I'll repeat that. Both faith and fear demand that you believe in something that you cannot see. So, which one would you believe in? You know, both of them demand that you believe in it, but you can't see it. So, in that scenario, fear is just the imagination, right? I guess you can't actively see it, but maybe you can imagine what's going to happen. When you have fear, you visualize what the fear is. So if you have a fear of public speaking, it's the idea that people are watching and judging you. But it's the same with faith. You know, both of them you can't see. You can just visualize it. So in that scenario, when you break it down like that, it's very simple. If they're very, very similar in that, why would you choose fear over faith? You can't see either of them. They're both equally real and not real. So which one would you choose? Very simple. You know, decide on the one that benefits you the best. And with fear, take time to understand it. Like if you do have fear, don't just think, oh, I'm scared of doing that. Like, what are you actually scared of? Break it down, because once you break it down, a lot of time the fear seems silly. So when you think about it initially, the fear may seem obviously scary, very big to tackle, hard to get through. Like, let's use an example of, okay, let's say, for example, I've done skydiving, so we'll do skydiving. Let's say the fear of skydiving, obviously that's a very natural fear because you're jumping out of a plane and you're plummeting towards death before the parachute happens. Like, if there's no parachute, you're plummeting towards death. Now, when you break it down, the fear, the fear is just, I guess, what could go wrong. And the way I did it, for me, I don't know, I wasn't that scared. I'm not trying to act like I'm a big man, but I wasn't really scared of it because I knew when I got up there, I wouldn't have to take a leap. I was attached to someone, so I'm just going to get shoved off, and it's a bit easier. I knew it's going to happen. There's nothing I can do to change it. But also, what made me understand that there wasn't really anything to be scared of is you realise that the skydiving instructors, for them to be even allowed to skydive with someone, they have to do 1,000 solo jumps. So they have to do that 1,000 times. I believe it's 1,000, maybe it was 100, but the point is it was something ridiculous. They have to do that amount of times on their own before they're even allowed to do it attached to someone. And chances are, when they're doing it attached to people, you're not going to be the first person they've ever had attached to them. I don't know how many, the person that did it with me, how many he had, but when you break it down like that, stats are in my favour. So many people do it. The chances of it going wrong are so slim. You're more likely to get killed probably than by a cow or something, or it's the same thing with a shark. A shark seems a lot scarier than a cow, but statistically cows kill more people on average each year than sharks do. Granted, people are probably more accustomed to being around cows, so I guess that will probably skew the statistics, but still, when you break things like this down, it's really simple to understand fear and I think tackle fear. If you just have to spend the time to decipher what it is you're actually scared of. So if you do have a fear, think about what the fear is. Take it into consideration. Don't just say, oh, I've got this fear, I can't overcome it, and just don't leave it just as that. Think what the fear is. Think what you would gain from overcoming that fear. If you gain anything. If you don't, then maybe you don't need to overcome that fear. It may not be pointless. Why do you want to overcome the fear? What actually is the fear of? If it is if you're scared of doing public speaking, what part are you actually scared of? Are you scared of, and I assume most of the time it is just the judgment of others, getting up there and okay, there's going to be people there, what if I stutter, what if I make a fool of myself, right? There's people there, they're actively going to see me fail, mess up. So you're assuming the worst. Not that, you can't even see that yet. So try and assume the best. And I think you got to understand, if you put yourself in their shoes, imagine you saw someone go up there to do public speaking or to present something, any form, anything, and you saw them fumbling or maybe stuttering over their words, are you really going to like judge them for it? Or are you just going to be like, well, they've got up there, you know? And you'd almost be like, you know, people aren't that mean. You're going to see someone do it and you're like, oh, I'm glad they've got up there. Even if they like stutter a bit, you're just going to be like wanting to cheer them on and help. You know, people want to help. I think we need to get out of the mindset that everyone's out to get us. Like, yeah, I'm sure if you have someone that you've pissed off in the past, they may see you failing and love it. But a lot of the time, the people that you'd be in front of doing a public speaking, they're not going to be there to wish for your downfall, right? They're there to maybe learn something, or if it's like family and friends, they're there to support you. So just realize where that's coming from. And, you know, maybe you've got a bit of an ego, so maybe you feel like that you've got a facade around these people, and if you go up there, suddenly you're expected to be confident, and what if you fumble, and then suddenly, oh, you're not this person everyone thought you were? Well, yeah, again, they'll understand. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not that deep. Just break it down. Okay, so the ego is the problem. You have this identity, and maybe you don't feel true to it. Just go out there and just be yourself. Don't feel like you need to act a certain way and really try and tell people how it is. Just speak how it feels natural to speak to you. I mean, there's still obviously ways to improve speech and improve the audience's retention to what you're saying, and to speed up certain parts and slow down other things to really make a point land, and to take pauses. Let the information soak into the audience. But that's something like that will come later. I think the best thing first is just get out there, experience it. And like I'm doing now, when I do these videos, I'm just speaking, I'm having fun doing it. I'm not focused on how I'm portraying my vocabulary, I guess. I'm trying to improve it subtly, but I'm not actively thinking, okay, I need to pause here, I need to explain it like this. That will come, and I will want to do that. I do want to improve how I speak and the energy, my tone, and how it flows around, and to try and keep people hooked onto what I'm saying. But this will teach me that as I go through it. The first thing I would suggest is to get comfortable doing it, and just don't expect perfection. You can expect high standards for yourself, but just go out and do it, and understand where the fear comes from, and realize it's really not that deep. As we all know, it will pass. Even if you made a mistake, that will be forgotten, and in a year's time, in even 2 months' time, you won't even regret doing it. You won't think it's bad. No one ever regrets doing something really that's uncomfortable for them. Obviously, I'm sure there's certain scenarios, but you get what I'm saying. For the most part, on what I've experienced, whenever I do something that's out of my comfort zone, even though it's uncomfortable and I want to get away from that feeling and I want to leave, it's enjoyable afterwards. You're proud of yourself for doing something different than your norm of comfort. One quick last example before I leave and shut off the video here was last year I started doing salsa classes. Never done salsa before. Went there alone, and you know, especially it's an interesting one because I go there, there's other people that know things more, and especially as a man, because the masculine has to lead, I felt like there was a bit more pressure on me. So I'd go there very uncomfortable, having to learn the dance and make sure I know the dance fully well so I can lead the woman I'm dancing with into it. And there was women that were older than me. I think, there wasn't really any women that were younger, they were all older, probably because it's more, accustomed to that age group. But either way, every time I did it, I felt amazing after. Now granted, I did stop doing it, and that was mainly because I just started working so much, which is why I'm out here trying to get my freedom again. However, I definitely should carry that on and find something to do like that again, because that was really good. It really got me like in an uncomfortable scenario, and I always felt amazing afterwards. Obviously the anxiety would still be there. Sometimes I wouldn't want to go the next week, but I did for those 3 weeks, and then I did start doing overtime and it was a bit of a long one with my work shift patterns, and I'm making excuses, but it doesn't matter. The point is, I did it, it was fun, and I would recommend doing that again, and I will do it again for sure in the future. It was fun to do. Bit of a long run yet again today. I feel like I kind of start off with a rough topic, and the more I talk about it, then I can kind of correlate other aspects from my life that I can bring, hopefully with useful information to this topic. So I think that's why it kind of goes on a bit longer here. But yeah, good one there. Hope everyone's having a great day. Happy New Year's, which I'll be saying tomorrow as well. Might have to do the video a bit earlier tomorrow, so I might be celebrating it. We'll see. But yeah, guys, have a lovely, wonderful day and evening. Have a lovely, wonderful morning and afternoon. And yeah, sleep well, guys. Bye bye.